What's up, guys? Knaftastic here. I been working on some mods and doing a bunch of different things, and work has been really crazy. I had a boo-boo and cut my thumb pretty good yesterday, and I had to go get some super glue and some little sutures. It doesn't really look that bad, but I think I might have nicked the bone. I was using what we call a deburr scraper tool on some hard to get to holes, and the way I was holding it, it slipped and I pulled it across the top of my thumb and it went ouch. But I'm good, everything's good, it's going to be fine. Luckily I'm right-handed, so I'm able to still use my tools like I need to. It's just I can't apply, the opposing thumbs type deal. But it's all part of being a machinist. I got pretty rough and tough hands from being in the trade for so long. But the main reason I'm here is I was hoping to have this done this weekend and going to be ready to ship to him on Monday, but it's probably looking closer to Tuesday or Wednesday. Mr. Jeremy, thank you so much for being patient with me. I had gotten the Twosun 273 and the Spyderco Swish Bowie from him to do some mods to, and I have been all over the place on modding the Bowie, because he originally wanted a frag pattern, and that's what we had discussed, and I had talked to him. I tried to do it, but most of the frag I've been doing has been flat scales. In other words, non-contoured flat work doing a frag, and this is a real, what I call a miniature frag, and I've had quite a few I've done, but I've never done a contoured knife with, a crown to it. And I'm running these frags in a milling machine and by hand, so I put the primary pattern in first on the machine to get the lines good and straight, and then I do some finished hand work with files and Dremel tools and so forth. I've got some fixtures made that I put in my machine that allow me to hold it and not mar it and so forth, but it's been a back and forth. It's been trying. I've shot some other ideas. I'll try to upload a few pics of some of the thought processes, like a constellation dot or a matrix type pattern, a triangular type pattern. I've been all over the place because I wanted to do something that looked good and he'd be proud to carry in his pocket. And this is a worker knife for him. Mr. Jeremy, his thought process is the original knife. This was the Knife Joy exclusive in the blue, sort of a dark blue, and it showed snail trails really bad, and it's a user for him. It's an M390, and he wanted something that he could carry and not show a lot of wear. So I had blasted the scales and then started doing some pattern ideas, and I've been back and forth and drawing and trying to be artistic, and the combination of work and all that stuff, it gets pretty busy, but that's besides the point. And this has been a tremendous learning curve for me on doing things. I've actually tried doing some bark. I haven't done it in any knife scales, but I've done it in some steel. Come out really good, but I don't know if I'm quite ready to offer it as a service yet. I got to do I'm gonna pick a few of my knives that I have in my collection and maybe try to do it too. And if you guys like that as an option, I might offer doing a bark service. In other words, making the scales almost like tree bark. There's a couple other modders out there doing it. They do a tremendous job at it, and it's definitely a skill set. I've done research and come up with some ideas of how it would be done. It's sort of like a old school jeweler's technique, but it's fun, and I'm learning, and I'm trying to build my den of mods, of techniques I'm able to offer services for. I recently did a Spyderco Spidey Chef for JD a friend of mine, one of my subs, and he's got that in hand, and I did the whole mod on the Gavco Thresher, and he absolutely loved them. Thank you for allowing me to do that. And I thank you, all my subs, for continuing to watch and bearing with me for going through, you know, not having a lot of content because I get busy. I'm a full-time machinist. I work 55 to 65 hours a week at times, and I'm a full-time dad. I have health conditions with my foot and my back, and sometimes it's just hard to create content and keep going. But life is good, God is good, and I thank you for all the support and the kind comments. And when you leave a comment, I do read them all. I try to reply to most. Sometimes I miss things, especially on some of my old videos. YouTube is sort of weird, the notifications and so forth. I don't always get notified that somebody's made a comment. So if I miss a comment, if you've asked me a question and I miss it, please don't hold any angst against me, because I do not mean to not comment or reply. Sometimes I just, you know, get busy. But thank you so much. Thank you very much. All right, now, yeah, I did the Raffir mod, and any one of you, I also have another one of these in-house I'm modding for MC. It's another friend of mine, and I'm doing a sort of a coral micarta, burgundy micarta for him. And I have it partially done. I have the insert done and the backspacer done, but I don't have any of the anno work or the blade etch or anything else done to it. So that's coming. I'm going to be working on probably doing some of that, finishing some of this actual blade and scale work tomorrow, and the insert and the backspacer is done. So it's not far from being completed. If you watch this video, MC, yours is in the works. All right, this one is done. This is the 273 Raffir mod with a custom insert. And if you can look at the lines in here, some is shadows and it might look like a little gap or a crease, but I promise you that this is an exact fit, a fit that is so good. There is no glue. There are speed holes that I have added to the back. I don't know if you can really see in there. You can sort of see it in that image there, that if you take a tool and gentle, because if you press in the wrong spot, I'm sure that this could break. It's epoxy and aluminum chips. I've took it in and out multiple times. It's not a problem getting in and out. But I made it to where if he ever wanted to take it out and possibly have me make something else for it, I could always make a set of scales. And that goes for any mod that I do with this particular knife. Let's say somebody had the 273 and they wanted to have a different color insert for every day of the week, per se. Sort of like the old saying is, a different color Corvette for each day of the week when you got big money. But you know, I would be able to take the insert from piece to piece to piece, because this is not falling out. It is not. There's no way it's going to come out without you meaning to take it out. But it is the Raffir. This is in natural light. It's this gray opaque color. In natural sunlight, it turns a blue, and then it glows in the dark green. And it's just a really nice material. This is Raffir Uranium SFX 3-stage. And I also did a backspacer. Oop, hit the camera. A backspacer to match. And that's the backspacer. And I still have the original backspacer that's going to go back with the knife if he ever wants to change it out and put the backspacer back in. And the action on this is really nice and buttery. I was talking with him the other day on the phone, and I had it really super smooth, and I've took it back and forth a couple of times, and I reckon I've gotten just a little bit tighter, and it still drop shutty buttery smooth, but it's not as smooth as I originally thought it was. But it's very smooth knife. Okay, that is the 273, and we'll Sort of set that right there. This is the backspacer for the Bowie, the Spyderco, and I'm still need to talk to him. I was talking about making one, but I never did. This is the factory backspacer. Might do something with that still, but not yet. Okay, we talked about Frag. We talked about all kinds of different things. And this is what I did. And I still have to, because when I was doing some of the file work, which is done with a file by hand, I slipped a few times and lightly scuffed a surface here and there. So I have to put this back in the glass beater, and then one more time with a final file, and I'm going to use a different technique to ensure that I don't slip again, and then put a new polish on the grooves. Sorry. I have put a mirror polish on all the Frag. I don't know if that's coming out in the picture, depending on what angle the light hits it. Every line in the Frag is mirror. I hope the detail can show and how shiny it is. This is all done with a needle type file after I have peripherally in the mill put the basic pattern in, because this is contoured. You know, I just can't set a depth and run with it, because it would be way too deep in one area and not deep enough in another. And I wanted the transition lines to be the same depth all the way across when you go from one side to the next. So, and you can see where the lines come out. It's not deep, but they, you know, you can see that basically the depth of the groove from the peripheral side. I don't know if you can sort of see it there. My camera's, the angle, you can sort of see the depth of the Frag. It's not super deep, but it's probably a good, I don't know, 10, 13 thousandths. A lot of nice grip, a lot of nice pattern. But I think it come out really good. You can sort of see the mirror on it. Now granted, I had to re-scuff this just a little bit with some light Scotch-Brite to get it. I had a little scratch like right in here where my tool slipped when I was doing this area here. Then I had one down over in here somewhere. But this is the Swish, if I'm pronouncing that right, Bowie, the Spyderco. This is a high-end, rare offering of theirs. But I'm pretty excited about how it came out. And the pattern, it's what I would call a medium to large Frag. I've done one or two larger, and I've done some quite a bit smaller. But I think this was about the right size pattern to get the look I was looking for, and I hope he is happy with it. I'm happy with it. Like I said, this will go through the blast cabinet one more time to put that blast finish on the top of the flats, and then I'm going to do a technique with the file again and a little bit of tape here and there and lightly scuff the grooves to put the polish back in them. It won't take much to polish them out with the file I got, because most of the work is done. And I'm just going to do a light, I'm going to take the blast machine and turn the pressure way down to where it just does put that dull gray titanium finish back on it. And that was one of the things he wanted. I had the entire thing done, and he wanted a satin, and I was trying to get the satin. And when I had went back to the blast cabinet and blasted it, I realized some of the grooves, because you don't, when you're working with titanium and steel and you're doing Frag patterns, it's hard to see depths to a degree, and I didn't have some of the depths even enough, and when I blasted it, it showed the imperfections. And I've actually done some measuring and so forth with a little tool I have. I know I have these more than deep enough to do what I want it to do. So tomorrow's Sunday. Monday after work, and this video might not be posted till tomorrow, so it's late. It's 10 o'clock at night here on the East Coast, so it might not even be uploaded till tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to be blasting this again Monday, and then doing another fine polish on the grooves, and then putting it back together. And to see the difference in, you can sort of see the blast, what the blast will look like. Gives it more of a dull matte gray finish. So you can imagine this finish with the polished grooves, I think, will look better than this, because it doesn't, because of the color of the titanium here, it doesn't really show the vibrancy and the mirror effect of the grooves. So, Mr. Jeremy, I hope you like your Frag Spyderco Swish Bowie. I enjoyed doing it with you, for you, and I thank you for allowing me to do it. And I look forward to doing more mods to you as we have discussed. And that's what I got for you tonight, guys. Thank you very much. This is Knaftasticedc, Rodney, you know me, and God bless. Y'all have a great night. Bye.